Alright, abusuam wo bibia kwa banfambra 2K ni sem blossom e wo YouTube so say abusuam for yaba. As usual, ensem ahodo a ekoso e wo Ghana ase no ana ye de beso me ahwefo. Ene ye tiefo nya na abusuam no kase no e yade se. Professor Jane Naana Jane abusuam enche kra na enya entie bi se ye maami ne ho edodo no kakra na ase. Na pomodin enhyira NCC so emfama no. Na me no kase no finally info aba betu dwane nyina se yemfa asida emma nyankopon bibia besi bia no wase yemfa asida emma no na de tie nyina se wa sha ase brofe beka say or respond to a treatment pay yi chese nyoma nyina deda na akwema NDC mpemfo ne nkofo ahodo bi ani ajepa o de info no aba betu dwane chese efri efiada na chese ne hododo no anase nyoma nhyida nkwin bepemne no utimi se ene nyoma mu ye pa edema maame Naana Jane da biso amempesem kasbetente be ko ne akwa nsem nyina enchiremu ede abaiba babetina se ne de ho enkomo seresi temidin ede kwam gentle.
We are losing the judiciary. You know that we are heading to an arena of chaos and pandemonium if nothing is done about it. And the Naana Supreme Court in recent times the most revered arm of the judiciary, the Supreme Court, are gaining some notoriety for being a partisan arm of power under Akufo-Addo, and people were using it to do a whole lot of stuff. So we have panel na air course under President Akufo-Addo na ebi amanfo nhase enhyeda entenance nyeye. Judges na no panel for cases they were running through the same people when the same personalities, the same people, and they were giving the same ruling and the same judgment all over. And then the cover unanimous 11, unanimous 5 in for buy. That became a subject. The judiciary and the Supreme Court a subject of your friends are public ridicule, public mortification in all discussion on social media now for and corruption cases and allegations are level against even some individuals in there. The whole Chief Justice was a subject of your friends say one of these allegations that lawyer Bibi Meki at the end of the day, I think that lawyer was suspended whole lot of issues about in court. Sanyama when you now build it up to that particular perception. And then the mother of all things, the appointment, the brazen manner with which the president was appointing people left, right, center to the Supreme Court bench. Obajia di say, you drew a point here, Obi a yenimse or your party we ni oko contest ye ewo your fan saying Ho East on the ticket of the MPP elusu ye. Sa nipa no ya promoting her to the stance as such a sensitive bench and so indication is all qualified. But you see, my culture said there are moral argument and common sense argument that you need to make. You look at the institution in question and how revered and a partisan is supposed to be. There are some individuals who push you I know the day, no matter the kind of rule or whatever, it will still create doubt on the minds of people, and that impression will solid the reputation of the judiciary. And those Nema way, causing a do a point, Ghana for about, almost they are seeking to reset institutions. And in resetting this institution, it's not just any institution. The most foundational institution can be. Don't forget that this reset started from Parliament too. Is the reason why you saw that massive numbers this time around. Because most of the majority people are more the MPPs were voted against. So when people are talking about this reset, they don't talk about say the reset already taking place our Parliament are taking place our the executive that is the reason why Bawumia lost the way he lost. Then the only arm here that ruling 92.3 is the judiciary. And it's not as if the President Mahama Dosari or Simi Koyi Judge free ho. Only that 92.3 a petition that has to be submitted by a Ghanaian. Ghanaian or her or yet dissatisfied with Nema the Supreme Court and I say Chief Justice and so Article 146 so be when I can be that copy or hand can go through how what has to be done in that particular way and that will be at the petition Aquacoma President forwarded to your friend saying Council of State now or more establish what I say there are merits and I say that particular petition have some credence be able to be forwarded to a panel for subsequent procedure say because of Minya Niamana air cost na generate a whole lot of debate in the first place. Matisse says Tafo MP at the court. say or stop the process because of free say president atiatia Chief Justice 9 so be your friends say what ne fa ahodie so because onyama na kwanya ema yentie no. And sometimes what's in China will follow some of these things, and this guy in question is a parliamentarian. Now, this is the way he thinks. You could see clearly that it is either he's motivated by malice or the partisan lines, and I say he's not even thinking right, and I say he's just ignorant about this whole process. Because at this point, anybody will push the president to court to stop him because Onyamo Chief Justice Amane. So we have provisions now, our Oko article 146 na down was no nyina e kire hawa so person we Chief Justice free ho and I say any member of the Supreme Court bench no free ho and I say or talk about regional tribunal chairman and as for no so person you mo free ho there are clear outline our constitution na nkasa edia to quite clearly how that particular process must be your first applied. So at any point in time, so what national president have their offer, you have every right, citizen, to complain. But at this point, the questioner I say any reasonable logical mind be beside who say at this point, president afomemra. Now say Chief Justice who demand now all demanded for petition copy, no, is it right or is it wrong? That is the question we are going to answer this time. The whole thing is that Constitution say president receive petitioner. It was set up that particular petition. Now, but what team people are not considering is a particular will need a constitutional injunction on both the president and on your friends the Council of State. So petition the president why he's just a conveying bells. So there yes and fellas in one of the press way the president duty is to push that particular petition to the Council of State. And establishing whether there is merit or not, that process is not an adversarial process. That is what people should understand. Adversarial, say, I don't know a bit more quite and I say that particular process is never adversarial. It's a procedural. Who say petition appropriate and I say appropriate on the face of things that has been presented. So at that point, you don't need the input of Chief Justice because they are not going to go into the case, the merit of it, to determine whether it is relevant or not. Sometimes you can even just look at a petition on the face of it and determine, say, even the petition is not competent. So there was a time I think, say, a bit by, yes, sign. So some of these technical destiny can even render the petition incompetent to be forwarded to the next stage. But this time, the president, as a conveyor belt, has a constitutional injunction on him to push this thing to Council of State to determine, to establish that prima facie, your friends say, in the face of what has been presented. May say that particular process is not adversarial process. Either warranty the Chief Justice to say So for a whole Chief Justice who understand this whole thing to come and say, yeah man, a copy at this time, it is wrong. And again, so what kind of constitution now called Article 146 Clause 10 now? I don't know if you have a copy, you can read it. It quite clearly say president forwarded petition now say Council of State it may establish say indeed they need to proceed there. From that point going, it becomes an adversarial process. And at that point the Chief Justice must be heard.
Okay.
I hope you understand. So at that point, committee no better say more recommendation and a president better so act as to whether so obepam maamena and answer maamena better. So at that point, as the principles of natural justice dictate, the person must be given the right to be heard. What are some? So at that point, a committee has been set up. Comprises of a high court, Supreme Court judge, and other people. Your friends say, appoint or more lawyers and as well composition, no kind of constitution or no, kind of clear. When that particular panel or committee is set up, at that point, you cannot say, oh, my Chief Justice, your friends say, a copy to know because she must appear before the committee either in person or by her lawyer. And at that point, she must be heard. And the crime banner over fast it's because why not petition I hope you get a point. Just a when petition So this whole process, include Chief Justice having access to the petition, but not just point because there are merit, we can give credence to the petition, and that we can start the process. And this is our kind of constitution. Article 148 down was now even with the president or started from forwarding it to the Council of State. That is where it started from, after dealing with the first member of the Supreme Court or the tribunal chairman, or started with sending the petition to Council of State to establish the premier facie, whether it is relevant. So from that point, and say, that's sorry, na Council of State back and say, Nema petition and the on the face of it, we think the petition is competent and it can proceed to the next stage. At that point, the president will have no other option than to give the woman copies to read. At this point, even the Council of State can say, oh, on the face of it, your friends are not competent enough to proceed. So, what they copy command and I who here at this point. And I don't know why some people on the other side, MPP, are taking this whole issue as if something has happened. And I don't know why the Chief Justice herself is panicking. Because at the end of the year,